Hi there everybody, it's Dracula's daughter here again, being dragged through the hedge backwards. As you can see, look at the bloody state of her. But anyway, hope you're all keeping safe, hope you're all keeping well. Pardon me, my cough is finally gone. Still get a little coughing now and again, but it's mostly gone. So, but like I said, I hope you're all okay. It's Easter weekend this weekend, so stay safe but enjoy yourselves. And try, hopefully you'll get as many Easter eggs as possible, especially if you're going to the shops and doing your daily exercise, like going to the shops or your weekly shopping. Ooh, pardon me, I've just had a cup of coffee. So yes, I'm sat out on my patio, a different part of my patio at the moment, so that's why I'm looking a bit dark here, but because everywhere else is just too messy at the moment, because it's still under construction, as it were, by myself personally, about getting it all sorted. But I can't do anything with it at the moment until the lockdown's over, because I don't feel it's fair that I go out and buy stuff for the patio, and you know, even though they're saying it's okay to do it, but I don't want people going, oh, look at her buying stuff for the patio, look at her buying plants, blah blah blah, whatever like that. But hey, you know, so I'd do anything to keep myself busy. But apart from all that, I hope you're all okay. My plants are doing quite well. I've got Zena there in the doorway, I've got Simba out on the patio with me. As you can hear, hardly any cars around. Shh, a minute, be quiet a minute. Just listen to that. No cars, no noise, nothing, just bird, well, the seagull. But there are other birds around. Simba, will you stop it please? Thank you. Go away, go away. But I've got the camera on the stand. The stand now I've got, well, it's not a camera, it's my phone. I use my phone. But this stand I've got for my camera is supposed to really talk really high and everything like that. But does it work? Does it bog roll? I've been trying the last half an hour, trying to get it to stay and not lean over, not topple over. And in the end, I just had to construct something very, very quickly with the stuff I've got, and just plonk it on there and just hope for the best. And here I am. So hello. But yes, so as I say, be very, very careful out there. Don't go out unless you really have to. Simba, put that. Oh, it's just got in the bin again. Oh, I'm going to smack it. But anyway, so yes, as I was saying, so staying. I know it's feels like day 2000 being on lockdown, but it's not. It's only day 17, I think it is, on lockdown. So feels so much longer. It really does. It really does. I don't even know what the outside world looks like anymore. It's been so long. But anyway, so yes, but I'm watching on now because I don't really know what to talk about. There's one thing I do want to talk about really, which I think is very now, and that is stop panic buying. Over the last couple of weeks, especially in Devon, I don't know for the rest of the country, in Devon has been showing food, the amount of food that's been thrown out, especially bread and fresh meats that have been thrown out because people have panic bought stuff and didn't use it, didn't have the freezer space to put it all in, blah blah blah, whatever like that, and get out of the bin, Simba. And so it just got all thrown away. And one paper in particular today highlighted a single mum. Apparently she works in a, you know, she's a factory worker, and she spent 250 quid on food. She just threw everything in there, and stuff that she doesn't even touch, not even the children touch, like tinned stuff as well as fresh stuff. And she said that she would do it again, and she don't care that people are missing out because of her panic buying. She doesn't care about the vulnerable people not be able to get stuff. As long as she and hers get theirs, that's she don't care. That's all well and good, but you should stick to buying the stuff that you want and that you know that you'll eat, not grab anything and everything on the go and she bought 50 toilet rolls. She bought how many dozen eggs, I don't know. And she bought loads of bread and stuff. And her kids live off fast food, basically, carby fast food and whatever. So, and she said that she's got loads of tins of chickpeas and ratatouille and stuff in the cupboard that the kids will never touch, neither will she. So why bother buying the bloody stuff then? There are people out there that will buy it. And do you know, so it's just ridiculous. And this is how this country has got to now, mostly, is people are all in for themselves. And it's all well and good if you are going to do it, but do it that knowing that your family will eat the items and not just grab it just for the sake of it. And that's what too many people are doing at the moment. In fact, last week I had to lack of funds as well, because I paid my bills a week before. I had to buy stuff that I don't eat and that makes me ill, and I had to buy it because I had nothing else. There was nothing else. But that's by the by. That was only for about 3 days, and if it wasn't for my ex-husband, I would have been without food for about 3-4 days. But that's by the by. And I had so I had lovely messages from friends, people, even strangers saying, "Oh, give us your PayPal address, and we'll put some money in there for you to save you from not eating proper food and whatever." And I said no, because there are people out there more deserving than I am, and there really are. And I'm just the one person. I'm old enough and fat enough that I can live without food for 3 to 4 days. I can eat stuff that's going to make me ill for 3 to 4 days. Needs must while the devil drives, as it were. And of course, so in this day and age, we just be thankful that we've got our health and that we can buy food. That we have got the pennies to buy food, whatever it is, regardless if it makes you ill or not. And seeing people, it was like this morning, for instance, queuing up again for 20 minutes and to get into Asda, which is fine. I don't mind at all. I was quite enjoying it. The sunshine and everything, so it's part of my exercise. It is part of my exercise. So because I had to walk through 2 car parks and past the shop all the way around the back of the store, and it's a huge store, and queue up. So I classed that as part of my exercise for the day. I haven't even taken Zena out today, so because I've done my exercise. And I don't see why I should go out twice in one day. She's all right. She'll do. She'll wait till the morning, she'll be fine. But yes, I was saying, it's just queuing up for 20 minutes, and it was all well and good, and got in and everything, and again, people panic buying again, because it's Easter weekend, isn't it? So long weekend. They think it's the long weekend, but the only day that the shops will close and stay closed will be Sunday, because it's that's the only 2 days the shops close. I don't know if they will close this Sunday, Easter Sunday, because of the coronavirus and stuff like that, and people wanting to buy food and whatever. But people were panic buying again today, and it really was like throwing stuff in their trolleys just for the hell of it. And I did my week's worth of shopping. Well, hopefully it'll last a little bit longer than a week, but I got most of the stuff that I eat and that I needed, but certain things I can't do without, and they didn't have. So but hey ho, I'll just check again on Monday or Tuesday and see. But everything else I've got anyway. So I've got food in the house, So just I've got food in the house. The dogs have got their food. They've got plenty. They've got more food than I have. If we were on a lockdown for 6 weeks, not allowed to go out of the house at all, they'd survive for 6-7 weeks. I'd survive about 3 weeks, I think, with the food I've got. If I rationed it all out and everything. But so last week, Sunday, was it Sunday? I'm shopping Sunday or Monday. Anyway, so thanks to my ex-husband, he lent me some money, and I went shopping with it. And thankfully they had eggs, which I eat eggs. It's basically cheese and eggs. That's all I eat anyway, and mushrooms, and you know, full fats, creams and whatever like that. So no wonder I'm fat, for fuck's sake. But yes, so but I got all that, and they had eggs in. But I went in there this morning and it looked as if the tornado had hit it where the eggs were, because no eggs whatsoever, and it was just empty. It was literally empty of eggs. And I thought to myself, I bet you there's people walked in and bought about 10 packs of eggs each. Pardon me, because they've stopped the maximum two of the same item per customer. They've stopped all that. So so it's basically free for all again. Poundland have done that as well, but like they said to me the other day, I walked in last week and they said, "Oh, last week, beginning of last week, because I go shopping twice a week." They turned around and said that so it's basically free for all. There's no limit anymore, but be careful with the hand sanitizers and the hand soaps and stuff. And I said, well, I've got hand soap. I've got washing up liquid, and that does just as well, and and I've got wipes and things like that. So why would I want to buy more? If I'm running low, I'll buy more, but I'm not running low at the moment, so why should I buy more? But it's things like that which really annoy me, because people are just taking the piss. They really are taking the mickey, and it makes my pee, and it literally boils my pee, because so some of us can't afford to go out and spend 250 quid for food and then just keep it all and then just throw it all away, which I think is wrong anyway, regardless. Personally, I think it's totally wrong anyway, even without this coronavirus stuff, that people, so I feel the need to spend that much money on food only to get it, let it go to waste, and I think it's just disgraceful. Anyway, the best of times, and it's even worse now in the situation we're in. So, but hey, who am I? So people aren't going to stop being a-holes, will they? So and that is the saddest part. But in the same vein, so it's like I don't know if they can or not, but it really annoyed me because he didn't even ask, and I know him, but he ignored me afterwards in the shop. He knew that I knew he'd done it. A guy in one of those motorised scooters, he was in the queue behind me. It's about 4 or 5 people behind me. Then all of a sudden I looked, and he was way in front of me, and he'd got into the queue way ahead of everybody else. And I thought to myself, are you allowed to do that? Aren't you taking the mickey now? But hey, so I didn't want to say anything in case I was made out to be horrible and not letting an old person through. A disabled person. I'm classed as disabled. Did I jump the queue? No. Did I ask to jump the queue? No. And as I was nearing the front of the store, the entrance to the store, there was a really dodgy old woman, really having problems with her trolley passing through, and I just stopped and I let her get in front of me. There's only about 5 people in front just to get into the store, and I thought, no, sort of, because the queue was so long, and by the time she would have walked all the way around to the other end, so she might have collapsed or something, because it is quite warm. And I just let her go in front of me, and she was ever so grateful, bless her. But so some people are very selfish at the moment when it comes to all this, and other people are, so have a heart of gold, and and we seem to forget that people are out there putting their lives at risk in order for us to have our bread, which I don't eat, milk, which I don't have. And eggs and whatever, which is none in the shop at the moment, but and they're putting their lives at risk, and they're putting their families' lives at risk as well by being in the shop, making sure the stuff are on the shelves, or trying to get stuff on the shelves as quickly as they humanly can, and we are just walking in there taking the piss and just grabbing anything and everything off the shelves, and honestly, I felt guilty because I picked up 3 different cheeses, and so the the cheese will last me about a week to 10 days because I do like, instead of eating chocolate and stuff now and sweets or whatever, I have a little bit of cheese. And you know, so I've got cheese slices, I've got a block of cheese, and I've got a block of Wensleydale with cranberries, which is lovely. And I felt guilty because I was buying all that, and I bought the kids, the doggies, some fish, which was a yellow label fish, like 2 bass I think it was, or something, in each pack. So so they've got that for 2 weeks' time as a little treat for them. Yes, so that's my little moan and rant for the day. But honestly, there is no need to go panic buying and stuff, because especially perishables like bread and milk and stuff like that, because if it's going to go to waste, it's going to go to waste. If you're not going to use it within the specified date, don't bother buying it. Milk does freeze, bread does freeze, that's fine, things like that. If you've got enough room in the freezer, that's fine. Oh, and another thing as well, last week, when I had to buy stuff that make me ill, I was talking to this woman, and I said, what's grab it? I said, put it in the freezer. She said, my freezer's full already. And she had a trolley full. She had a trolley full in front of her, and all perishables. And I thought to myself, well, how's that? You know, where are you going to put all that? And she said, oh, my freezer's full already, says my fridge. And it was full of bread and meat, fresh meat and everything like that. And I thought to myself, that's going to go, a third of that's going to be thrown, because you're not going to be able to eat all that before the best, you know, before it runs out, before it goes stale or whatever, you know. So, and it's greed, and people are just, they think that they're okay if they've got enough food in the house. Enough food in the house means as long as you can have 1 square meal a day, that's more than enough. That's more than enough. That's more than a lot of people in the world get. You know, so, and we are privileged. I think sometimes we are overprivileged. You know, in that we can buy food and feed ourselves, and worry about our own family instead of, you know, we don't have to worry where the next meal comes from. And that goes, the majority of us, 99.9% of us in this country are like that. The 0.1% are either spending their money on drugs and alcohol and smoking all the time, or they just don't have any money at all. I'm not one to judge, especially at the moment, because your money, you do what you want with it. But when it comes to taking it out of other people's mouths, then I will say something, because it's wrong. It's morally wrong. It's disgusting, to tell the truth. It's absolutely disgusting. And yeah, and I think it's just totally wrong. And you know, here I am sat, you know, day 2000, you know, so it's day 17, I think it's 16, 17, 17 days, I think it's been 16 days since we've had a lockdown. I stayed to the hair, look out of I did the fringe the other day, and I brushed it, and I posed it on Put Your Bins Out in the Ball Gang site, and it was like rounded, like that round, it was rounded, and it looked like a 1970s Purdy Bond girl look. I had loads of makeup on and everything, and I thought it looked okay until somebody said, oh, it looked like Angelica Houston, and I thought, well, lovely, that's a compliment. Then afterwards I thought, oh, now I bet she means Angelica Houston in the film The Witches, where she's the Grand Witch, and she's on the stage, and she takes the human face off, and then she's there with this all gnarled, big nosed face like that. And so that's what she meant. That's how I looked like. But hey, but yes. So after all this, we can see all these people coming out into the daylight with all funny haircuts and everything, because they can't go to the hairdressers and whatever. So, and I bet you the first month or so after the lockdown, I think 99.9% of hairdressers will be and barbers will be so booked up and so busy, which is a good thing in a way, because the amount of money they're losing at the moment. And I personally think that we should stay local. for at least a couple of weeks after the lockdown, and spend as many pennies as we can in the local shops that have been closed to us, and make sure that they're even if each of us spend like £2 on average, say an average of £2 in a local shop, that will more than cover their losses over the last few weeks. So no, there's no one up there. There's no one on the roof. We don't have anyone on the roof. But which one? Do you want to go through there now, dear? Oh, there you go. There you go. Yes, as you can see, look, both of them there. Yes, yes, you can see Xena there as well. There's Simba and Xena. What are you doing? And good sniffer, bless them. That's the corner I used to do the videos when I first started over that corner over there. I used to do. But this side, this is the house side. I've got the kitchen door just there. Xena, Simba, see. Yeah, there's Xena. There's Xena there, and there's Simba. Both of them are better having a good sniffer. Oh, leave it. Oh, pardon me. She's taken a liking to my one of my passion flowers. I don't know why, but there you go. I don't know what she's doing in that far corner over there. Look at her. Honestly. There you go. That's what happens when you have two wolf dogs. They just take over your life. But I can tell you now, if it wasn't for these two, I think I would have gone to a lally by now, because they give me a reason to get up in the mornings. They give me a reason to put my clothes on and get dressed and everything. Because otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. I wouldn't be out of bed. I would be in bed 7 days a week and hardly get up and everything, or at least not get dressed. Xena I take her out every day, but she's not going out today because I've had my exercise. So come back over here. Come on, in. Come on, Simba, come on, in. Come on, come on, Xena, come on, in. Come on, move your. No, I said come on, in. Get in, come on. Good girl. There. Let me close the gates. There. I said they're both good. They've listened to me for a change. They never listen, bless them, but no, they never listen. So you had a good sniff around, didn't you? Yes, you did a good sniff around, did you? I know. See, this was happened. You know, so like once they start answering back, that's when I have to start worrying. But yeah, so it is scary times we're in at the moment, and especially if you have mental health issues as well. That's another scary thing, because it does tend to make it worse. Because I was telling people, I keep myself to myself anyway. I'm a bit of a recluse, not by choice. It's just the fact. It just happens. I like my own company, and I suppose because I'm a daydreamer as well. But I was saying about at the moment is even worse, because it's worse for me, or people like me, because we are being told that we have to stay indoors. We are being told not to go out all the time and everything. So that choice has been taken away from me, and that is a scary thing, and that's what's affecting my mental health. Pardon me, the cough's back. But you know, so and it's just really weird, because it does affect the mental health. You know, so somebody telling you can't do this and you can't do that, and of course you rebel and you push back and you say, no, I want to do it. You know, it's like a reverse psychology kind of thing. And of course I got really panicky. I'll do that in another video, actually. What happened to me the other night, so about 3 nights ago. But anyway, so I'm going to say goodbye to this video. Yes, Simba. See, that's Simba saying goodbye as well. He's a bit of a chatterbox. Every morning about 8 o'clock, I'll open my eyes and I'll stretch, and they both think, oh, it's getting up time. And you know, and of course with Xena now, so she sees me taking my corset off. Yes, I wear a corset, a proper corset, one of those proper corsets. I wear one of those for my stomach and my waist to try and keep it trim, but I don't wear it during the daytime because I won't be able to move in it. But I wear it to bed at night, so I have it on for at least 10 to 12 hours of the night time, and it does seem to work. So people have mentioned it in the past, but over the last few weeks I haven't been wearing it too many times because of all this virus and stuff, and it's all to do with breathing and your lungs and stuff. So I thought, right, fine, no, I can't wear it, because I like it really tight, and it might affect my breathing, blah blah, and I'll get pneumonia anyway because I'm not breathing properly. But hey ho, so but no, I'm still here. I'm still wearing it, so I'm still okay. But so yes, so of course, and Zeno sees me taking that off, and then they both go mental and run around, and Simba talks to me, don't you, Simbi? Yes, you talk to your mummy, don't you? Yes, you do. And he has a good chat with Mommy, bless him. And he's such a boy, he really is. He hates being ignored, he hates it when the phone's ringing and I'm not talking to him. People can hear him on the phone going, not you, good boy. So anyway, so be safe, be healthy, and above all, don't panic buy, because there is no lack of food. There's no problems with food. There's no problems with getting food through to the shops and whatever. The only time there's a problem is when people panic buy and there's not enough to go around. That's what's going on at the moment with various things, like things like eggs and whatever. Too many people are buying too many eggs, and I've only got 8 eggs left, I think. Yeah, 8 eggs. So, but anyway, but that'll last me a week, so that's fine. But anyway, so stop panic buying, stop panicking, and I know it's easier said than done, but we have to try and take a step back and breathe and try and relax and take it one day at a time, because next week you just don't know. It might be the beginning of the end next week. You just don't know, do you? So, you know, so we might start getting back to normal next week. I don't know. I doubt it, but you just don't know, do you? I think end of May, beginning of June. That's me personally, and that's on the record now. End of May, beginning of June. I think we'll be back to normal. All right. So, but anyway, be safe, be healthy, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.